What's up, risk managers? My name is Nasdaq Anonymous, and I'm addicted to the NQ. And boy, is she one hell of a drug. And welcome to tonight's NA meeting, where we'll discuss the economic data for the week, analyze today's session, and from that, build a winning game plan for tomorrow's price action. And if you haven't done so already, you can show your support by subscribing to the channel. And with that said, let's jump into the charts now. This is tomorrow's data. Be mindful that all times are in Central Time. And we have a big block of news scheduled for tomorrow, so let's jump into it. At 7:30, we have goods, trades balance, and wholesale inventory for the month of June. At 8:45, we have the S&P Global Composite, Manufacturing, and Service PMI for the month of July. At 9 o'clock, we have new home sales for the month of June. And at 12 and 3:05, we have the 5-year note auction and Fed Bowman speaking. And now that we know what to expect, let's jump into the charts and create a game plan for tomorrow's price action. This is the block of price action that we traded during today's stream, and today was definitely a range day. And as I analyze the charts, I see 3 clues that's going to be essential for helping us find the best trades going into tomorrow's stream. So let's jump into it. During the overnight session, we saw the market open with a 123-point move to the downside before the bulls were able to find support and trade price back into its original range. And from this range, we saw that the bears defended this range, traded price lower, but here in this instance, it failed to take out this low. The bulls were able to find support, and we saw a short squeeze going higher, running the liquidity that was resting above this high. And as the market shot past and swept this liquidity, we saw this crash down and price trading into a range until we got the news from Alphabet and Tesla earnings. And based on this price action, this is what I'm going to be looking for going into tomorrow's stream. Now, from this level, 1 or 2 things can happen. As the session opens, the bulls can find support here at this level. We can see price trade right back into this range. And this is where the bulls are going to have to prove that they want it. They're going to have to break above 2050, and not only break above 2050, we're going to need a pullback, and we're going to need to find support here at 2050. Because if the bulls are able to hold this level, we can definitely see a move back up, testing a levels between 2090 to 95, and possibly here at 116, where this is where I believe the bears will come back in, and we can see a move down right back into this range where price has been rotating back and forth. Now, here's what's more likely to happen. What I see that we have this move down, we have a pullback, and what appears to be the market is making its second leg to the downside. So the market is going to have to hold this level between 880 and 860. And if we see the bulls fail to find support here, then my next level that I'm going to be looking for is for price to find support somewhere around this 795 level. And what I really believe is going to happen is the market is going to complete its objective and fill that gap between 719 and 706. Now, even though we see that the market basically traded in this big range today, overall, we can see if we look here over on the hourly chart is that price has been making higher lows and higher highs on the way up. So technically, even though the momentum is mostly bearish, the structure suggests that we are still bullish. The market is looking to retest these higher structures. However, when price trades into this range, I do expect for the bears to come back in with full force, and I do expect a massive move down because this is untested higher time frame supply. And it does appear that the bears has taken control of this market. But the price action overnight is going to definitely be essential for our bias going into tomorrow's stream. Now, if you're enjoying the content and appreciate the value that me and my trading partner provides to the trading community, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the release of our next NA meeting and live streams. And with that said, let's jump into an ES chart. This is an ES chart, and this is the block of price action that we traded during today's stream. And just like the NQ, we saw the market open with a downward move of about 55 points to the downside before the bulls were able to find support and trade price higher, breaking out of this range and retesting higher time frame supply. We saw price reject from this range back into this range. You can see that the bulls found support, trading price higher back into this range. That the bulls failed to take price higher, the bears came back in, and from this rejection, we saw the bears completely take over until the end of the session. Now, based on this is what I'm going to be looking for on the ES. Now, I do expect for price to continue to trade to the downside back into this range at 590, 585. If the bulls fail to find support here at this potential double bottom, we can definitely see price trade right back into that 575 to about 570 level. And if you look over at the hourly chart, this is the range that I'm talking about. If we see the market break this level right here, we can see a move going back to 5,555 because that's where the bulls are able to find support. And that's around the area where we saw the market close the previous week. So I'm going to make the assumption that if we do see this breaker structure below that 570 level, that's going to be the market objective. Because as you know, the ES has already filled its gap. So there's no real objective for the bears except for retesting last week's close. And if you look at this block of price action, this was the reaction to the earnings that we saw at the closing bell. So even though we've had a lot of bullish momentum in these last couple of days, I still believe that the bears are still in control of this market and that we could see another leg to the downside because the bulls are trying. However, the bulls are failing to do certain things. They're failing to break above key levels of resistance. And you can see that every time that price trades up into these areas, we see these rejections from it. So, and as price trades back into these higher areas of resistance, I'm definitely going to keep a close eye on how the bears react once price trades into these areas. And in summary, the markets both had bearish opens. Price did trade in a big range today and got rejected at higher time frame supply. And finally, the market had a tame reaction to the earning results that was released at the closing bell. And you can see, or at least for right now, that the market does appear that it's going to trade to the downside at open. And that's all I have for tonight, risk managers. And you can watch us trade these concepts live by clicking this video. We'll see you there.